Hello, happy Monday. My hair is a mess right now. I didn't have time to really do it this morning. I woke up so late. I want to talk about Stranger Things today, and I tend to ramble for a really long time in these videos, so I'm going to try my hardest not to. But I love talking and I love Stranger Things, so it's going to be very hard. But this is going to be about all of season 2 of Stranger Things. So spoilers, do not watch this if you have not seen season 2 if you plan on watching it. And just come back to this video after you've seen it, and we will chat some more about it. It came on Friday. I only watched one episode on Friday though because I worked obviously during the day, and then I still had to rewatch 2 episodes. I was doing a rewatch of season 1, and I still had 2 more to watch, so I watched those. And then I went out to a comedy show, like an improv show. I don't know why I put it in quotes. It was an improv show, which I was so bummed about. I was like, I can't believe I made plans on Stranger Things Day of all the days because I don't leave my house very much. But I did go out for that. But when I came home and watched an episode, but then I was tired, so I went to bed. But then on Saturday, I woke up raring to go, watched a bunch of episodes. I think on Saturday, I watched 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then on Sunday, yesterday, I watched 7, 8, and 9. And it was so good. Like, honestly, as I was watching it, I was like, this is really similar to season 1. Like, they're hitting the same beats with the plot. Like, there are these monsters, and the kids are working together to do this while the adults are doing this. And they're all going to come together eventually. And at the end, there will be this team doing this while this team does this so that it can all end and come to one big climax together. So that was similar, but it honestly was fine because I was saying to my brother, I just love the characters so much. I would watch them do anything. That's completely fine with me. They can just like sit on the couch and chat, and that's good enough for me. Um, I remember last year when I first started watching the show, and it was after Will had gone missing, and the kids are in the principal's office. They're called down to the principal's office to find out what has happened to him. They're like, oh, well, he was on Mirkwood. And they're talking about how this is the streets, and they named it from The Hobbit. And it cracked me up. And that was the first moment where I was like, I love these children. They're so funny and they're so adorable. So I was just happy to have them back. I'm really happy to see everybody again. And the humor was there as well. I was laughing quite a bit. I There's a lot of things that I want to talk about. So I guess I'll do things that I liked about it, things that I didn't like about it. So first we'll do the things that I didn't like because there wasn't as much that I didn't like, but I didn't like the biggest thing was that 11 was separated from everybody. That was really hard for me. Like, I know it's supposed to be emotional and it's supposed to be really cool when they all come back together, and it was, but I just enjoyed seeing her with them a lot more last season. And they only were with each other like what, 6 days or something last season. It wasn't a long time, but they bonded so much. But it's hard to believe and to accept that bonding when they don't see each other at all during this season, until the end. And it was like, I love her and Mike. Obviously, they have a really cute relationship. But again, they only knew each other for like 6 days. And it's supposed to be like they went a whole year without seeing each other and they just cried every night about it. So that was a little bit hard to believe, even though the acting was fantastic. Like, those kids are excellent. I can't believe they're like 13 years old because it was like they had this love story for the ages. But when they come back together, and you're so happy because you can see like how emotional it makes them. Those kids are great. Like, I don't believe that they're 13. So it was hard for me to have her being separated, and I didn't really like the episode as much where she was in Chicago meeting her sister. When I first saw that it was called that, I was really not excited. I was like, I don't care about what's happening with this. I don't care about her meeting up with her sister. I want to see my kids back in Hawkins. I want to see what's going on with that. But the episode wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I did enjoy how it was very emotional and it was cathartic for her, and it was what she needed to experience for her to then say, okay, I need to go back home. I need to go to Hawkins and be with my friends. So I understand that she needed to go through that for her process. That makes sense to me. So I ended up not really disliking that episode. It still wasn't my favorite. And I understand that it needed to happen. I get that. So I think that's why it's good they did one more episode this season than they did last year. I keep trying to fix my hair, but it's on the wrong side in this camera. So I think that's good that they had an extra episode, so we could have that episode with 11 on her own. Because I just needed her back together with everybody. That's what I was waiting for. So that is something that I didn't like about this season. And then the other big thing that I didn't like was Billy. He was completely pointless to me. I mean, I know we got a little bit of a redemption with him, sort of, a little bit, because we saw that he was being abused by his father, which, sure, I did feel bad about that. But he was an awful, awful person. Billy was. So I didn't really feel that bad for him. Like, a little bit, yes, but I just didn't. I didn't see the need for his character, really. And it felt like reflecting on it now, I was thinking, maybe they are trying to make Steve seem more awesome by having this really bad guy, because we think, oh, Steve was never that bad, ever, which is true, but I don't think Steve needed that, because we all already kind of liked him during season one. Like, maybe not right at first, but by the end, he was awesome. He showed up with his bat and his swinging his bat, helping Jonathan and Nancy. He, like, just goes with it. He could have run away from the Demogorgon, but he came back and he was like, I'm going to help fight. And he was awesome. So he really didn't even need a redemption this season at all. I loved Steve. But of course, I love him so, so, so much more now. He was amazing this season. He might be my favorite character. Like, I love Steve so much. Well, I don't know if he's my favorite, because I love Will a lot too. Will, I want to talk about. So we're done talking about things that I didn't like, because I have so much that I did like. So much that I did like. In fact, I might have to do a part 2 of this video. Will was awesome. Like, I know that he was going through so, so, so much. And those scenes were great, seeing him, like, possessed. Noah, the actor, is incredible. He was so good. I can't believe he's like, I think he's 11 or 12, maybe 12, something like that. But he's young, and he was so, so good. Like, when he cried, I wanted to cry. And he was going through this really, really hard time with his now memories and being possessed and feeling this darkness inside of him and being connected to this monster. And it was horrible. Obviously, I felt so, so, so bad for him. But at the same time, I was like, he's killing it with this performance. Like, give him some awards. He did such a good job. He was excellent. The kids are all really good, but he just didn't have very much to do last season. He was gone a lot of the time last season. So I was happy that he was kind of the main kid, I guess, this season. He was probably the kid that was most important to it this season, which was really cool. I enjoyed seeing that. Other things that I enjoyed, I already said Steve was excellent. I loved seeing his bond with Dustin and seeing him caring for the kids and, like, babysitting the kids. He was terrific at that. Lots and lots of things that I liked. I loved the relationship between Hopper and Eleven. That was so sweet. And I kept, like, he was doing his message to her, like, I'm not mad. I'm sorry that we fought. And I kept waiting. I was like, is he going to tell her he loves her? I hope he says I love you. Like, I was waiting for that, and that never happened. But obviously he does. Like, they love each other very much, and they have that father-daughter relationship, and that was really, really sweet. Before they sort of reconciled, I was mad at Eleven, because she was being a brat. He was right. Like, she was being really petty, because she has been taken in by this nice guy. Like, he didn't have to help her, and he was late coming home, which is frustrating, and he was yelling at her, which is frustrating, but she was like, you're just like Papa. And that hurt me so bad. Like, I'm not even Jim. And I still was like, how could you say that to him? I was upset by that. Like, he's never been that bad. But a moment that was really, I guess, cathartic, a moment that was really important and hit those emotional beats, was towards the end when he told her about Sarah. She was like, who's Sarah? And he is another really excellent actor. David Harbour, I couldn't think of his name for a second, but who plays Chief Jim Hopper, was excellent when revealing that Sarah was this little girl, and he's afraid that he's going to lose 11, like he lost her. And that was so, like, it surprises me how sad the show can get sometimes, because it is so funny, and it's, quirky and adventurous and feel good kind of show, but it's also really sad. It really does get to me sometimes. So those were things that I liked. I liked so many things about it. Like I said, I was just so happy to see all the characters back again. Excuse me. To see their relationships and their bonds. I loved that Lucas had a love interest this season, because I love Lucas, and he deserves a lot more to do, I think. He's great and wonderful, and so I was really happy that he had Max, whose name I keep forgetting. I keep wanting to call her Sadie. I know that's her real name. But that he had Max, that was very cool. I ended up liking Max. Like, of course I like her. I just didn't know if she was necessary to the story. But I'm not mad that she's there at all. I think that'll be good. And I'm excited to see what they do with her next season. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just checking, because I was texting my friend about the show and my sister about the show. I just said, I love these children so much. My poor tiny little Will. Like, I felt so bad for Will. I did. Oh, and then Yeah, Jonathan and Nancy. I was super happy about that. Very, very happy that they finally kissed. Like, I love Steve and he deserves the world. And I was actually upset. I was really upset with Nancy when she was saying he's all BS and everything. I was like, he's been really sweet, like, for a long time, and he's trying to do good and he's trying to go to college and everything. She was being kind of unfair to him. But I think it's just because she was going through so much with Barb and secretly she doesn't really want to be with Steve anyway. So I wasn't too mad. I like Nancy a lot when she's like fighting and she's being cool and she's like, oh, I can work a gun and I'm not afraid of things and I can do anything. And I just love the scenes where everybody's working together. I know I need to end this video in the next couple of seconds because it's going to go over the time limit. But I love when everybody's all working together and they're playing the music and they're all covering up the shed so that Will can't figure out where he is, and they're all doing the Morse code so they can detect what he's saying. I love when the team all works together. That's excellent. And on that note, I am going to have to end the video because I don't want it to go over. But thank you for watching because I know this was just me rambling for 11 minutes. Oh, 11. I did not even